chop chop chop, judo flip, chop chop judo flip, judo flip.
See where they kill themselves, but you might say amala and vegetable.
Anywhere in the world, I want that, that amala that looks like it's about to jump on your face, and vegetable that is sweating with pepper. Yoruba man.
Hello there. Hello and welcome to this episode of 0100 Naija. This right here will be our second episode of Know Your Nigerian in 10 Questions. I am the scientist, the host of the podcast, and with me in the studio, well, our makeshift studio anyways, is a very interesting personality who is going to be our guest for this episode. He's a great man. He's so great in my estimation. I call him Pennywise. Pennywise the Great. You get to meet my guest shortly when he gets to introduce himself. So, if this is the first episode of the series you're listening to, Know Your Nigerian in 10 Questions is an interview series that we're hosting here on 0100 Naija. It involves we bringing guests from everyday Nigerian life onto the podcast, and we interview them, we ask them questions to get their perspective and their opinions, and you have knowledge of their experience of the Nigerian life, basically, so their perspective on Nigerian society, Nigerian culture, Nigerian history, right? And we'll see how often we can host these episodes, of course, and this is going to be our second episode after we hosted one with our very interesting guest last week. Last week, as according to when we are recording this anyways. I don't know exactly when this will be coming out, but I suppose it should be coming out probably about a week after the previous episode. So, not to take too much time introducing the episode and the podcast, let's get right into it. Alright, so let's have our guest introduce himself. So, guest, introduce yourself.
Hello, good afternoon or evening or morning, depending on when you are listening to this.
Exactly.
My name is Olusegun Olabode. I am a level 600 student of dentistry by University of Kano. What else am I supposed to say?
That's mostly it for now. In fact, you've said more than you should. Because for one, that's true. That's not too much. Anyways. Alright, so let's get into the questions now. So, if you've listened to the previous episode of this show, the first episode, you know exactly how the whole show is structured. So, we are going to be asking our guests here in the studio 10 questions, 10-minute interview questions to achieve the purpose of getting their perspective on the Nigerian experience. And then, interspersing the questions will be some quiz questions to get to gauge our guests' factual knowledge of Nigerian history and Nigerian society. Yeah, this is interesting. No pressure at all. No pressure. No pressure. All right, so let's go. So, Mr. Olabode.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, let's start this on a very serious level. Maybe?
Please.
All right. So, are you of the opinion that Nigeria's independence, if you call it that it's came too early or too late, and why so?
Okay, this is a very serious. I mean, you should have started with what's your favorite color?
We are not here to play.
Anyways, concerning Nigerians' independence, first of all, I feel it came too early. It came a bit too early. Not only was it very early, not very early anyways, but we're left in the lurch. We're not properly oriented in what we are as who we are as a nation, what we're supposed to be doing, what we're supposed to do at that particular time. They're like, okay, you guys have your independence, have fun, and just let us go. And just, okay, you know what, this guy looks like he should be the president, this guy looks like he should be the prime minister. Y'all have fun. We'll see you in 5 years' time when we come for your oil. And that was it. And I feel it's a bit too early. We should have been given an interim period where we find our feet. Of course, people would argue that there was an interim period before 1960, when the structure of 57, there about 56, when it was in the works. But then again, it came too early. That was just a few years after our brother Lugard did one wonderful stuff that he was not supposed to have done. That again, it's a story for another day.
Okay. All right.
But anyways, it came too early, and I felt we should have been given more time as an interim nation to find our feet before we just left there in the lodge.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. I'd like to add a bit there, but you said it mostly because one of the reasons I asked the question that I drafted this question as part of the interview questions is it's something that people really feel strongly about. Anyways, many people really do feel that it came early. Some said it's a bit too late. Some said it's a bunch of ways you can look at it.
Some people say it shouldn't have come at all.
Exactly. So, but then, yeah, the thing is, as much as some people I say, okay, there was some preparation, the thing is, what preparation was really done? And this is a subject we've talked about a bit in the podcast before, and we'll talk about some more in some subsequent episodes. But yeah, that's well said. That's well put, Mr. Olabode. All right. So, going ahead now. Next question. We started that on a very serious note, so yes, maybe let's get a bit more lighthearted now. So, who would you say is your favorite Nigerian artist or musician? And what is your favorite body of work or favorite song by them?
Ooh, okay, this is going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult.
It shouldn't be.
It is very difficult. Okay. We have also Nigerian artists out there, and I don't want to now say this thing now, and this audio will now leak. Then maybe the one like, oh, Segun, you don't like me, and you block me on Instagram when I'm stalking him.
Interesting. List 3 of them and tell us your favorite body of work by them.
Okay, in no order of preference. Adekunle Gold. God bless you, sir.
Nice.
Brymo. And Kiss Daniel. I know. I'm missing a few, some important people. Some people say, what about Portable? My favorite body of work would be by Brymo. More specifically, is this Strippers and White Line? That's a particular song, right?
Yeah, that's Yellow.
Under the album Yellow. Yeah. Yes, that album for me was one of the most, I feel, underrated, most important albums in the Nigerian music industry. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful work of art. It's a very beautiful album too, of course. Well, I'm a Brymo fan myself, even though that pains me to say, or at least I was a Brymo fan.
Oh yes, okay, I forgot. Until his very famous madness.
Oh yes,
very famous and very public madness.
Oh yes.
But yeah, so
I'm an unrepentant fan. His work is good. He was an asshole. He showed himself mighty, but his music is still pungent. It's still important.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the art. Not the
press too.
Right, so I think we just have to go with that. Mr. Brymo, if you're listening to this, please repent your ways. I still love your work, I still love your music, but I don't love you as a person.
Free tickets to your next show, sir.
What's the name of those concerts you organized again? Organized Chaos, right?
Oh God, I follow him on Instagram. It was God. I beg, sir. Free tickets.
And despite all the madness and stuff, you guys seem to have been having some good time lately.
Yeah. I've seen him online. I think he started selling his catalog at one point in time this year. He tried putting his body of work for sale, but I don't know who has gotten it yet.
Makes me want to cry every time I see him doing good.
Free tickets, sir.
All right then. All right. So let's see. Here now is one question.
Already?
No. Yeah, this is still laid back. It's a question that kind of tripped our previous guest, and I've had some people hitting me up after the release of the episode and and trying to inquire who that guest was and stuff. And I was like, oh, you just calm down. What? We can't all be. And the guest didn't say it herself. We can't all be healed up. Alright, so Mr. Olusegun,
yes, sir.
I think I've given you too much of a heads up, but still, here's the question.
Okay.
If you are to find yourself outside the country for an extended period of time, what meal, what native meal, would you crave the most to remind you of home?
As in, this is no argument. Amala, black amala, and vegetable. I mean, it's the staple of the gods.
See where they kill themselves, but you might say amala and vegetable.
Anywhere in the world, I want that, that amala that looks like it's about to jump on your face, and vegetable that is sweating with pepper. Yoruba man, please. That's what I'm looking for.
Segun, I'm sure you listened to the episode. So you know what's coming next for you, right?
Yes, I do.
How is it prepared?
You see, this is where I one up the show. This is where I one up the show. Of all the questions you asked the previous guest, this is the only one I went to research. I went home, I was like, okay, how do you turn this thing? And of course, I came up with very good answers. First of all,
Alright, let's go. Let's go.
Yes. You must put it in your heart. You must have the intention of eating amala and vegetable.
Nice.
Yes, you cannot just say, I want to eat amala and vegetable.
Nice.
You have to put it in your heart first.
Interesting.
Then go to the restaurant and get it.
I'm not letting you off the hook, nigga. I'm not letting you off the hook, man.
Okay,
how is it prepared in the restaurant?
Okay, firstly, let's start with the vegetable part because I think that's where the problem lies, the vegetable. I've actually done this once before in Kaduna. I've made vegetable.
Interesting.
Yes, it was semi-palatable. Thank God I was the only one that ate it.
Tell us how you went about it.
First of all, fresh pepper, grounded, with a lot of evil ingredients if you're interested.
Okay. Which are?
Well, of course, salt. Maggi, then crayfish if you're feeling adventurous. Dry fish. Of course, all these fish I mentioned, it was not inside that.
And the vegetable itself.
It's obviously an important thing.
That's the last thing.
Thank God they've made it awesome these days that the vegetable comes when you go get in the market, they chop it up for you.
They do?
Yes, unlike before where my mom would have to recruit us and we have to pour it for.
Interesting.
It was very hectic. But now you just go to the market and this beautiful woman cut it up for you.
Update.
Honestly, I found that out in Kaduna when I went. They cut it up for you and you just go with that.
That's a service. You don't even have to pay for it.
You don't have to pay for it. You just have to smile and
the
look
price
at
is included in the price of the vegetable itself.
It goes, I mean, shout out to all vegetable sellers out
wow.
there.
You guys are dope.
They are dope. So you want to carry your vegetables, your chopped up vegetable and soak it in hot water because it's dirty. Sometimes they wash it well. My mom uses hot water, so hence.
Medical students speaking.
Nah. If it's what we do in the hostel, you come in. I'm kidding. Then you put your pot on fire. Of course, you need fire. And then oil.
Okay.
Preferably red.
What do you do first? You place the pot with water on fire, or with the vegetable inside everything?
No, you are placing a pot of oil on fire.
Pot of oil.
Yes.
Okay.
You are going to now fry the pepper and the ingredients. You are going to fry them up till my mother will use the word like the pepper looks right. The pepper looks about right. You know, these people, cooking is a bit magical too.
How does it look when it's right? Does it look redder?
You
brownish?
You will see it.
Black?
Dude, I'm not you would know. I mean, the pepper will speak to you.
When you see it, you'll know it.
You will know it.
Alright.
When you see it, you'll know it. Take that from me.
Okay.
And then you'd pour in your washed vegetable. And you usually just squeeze the water out a bit and just drop it. Then you stir. And again, you wait till it looks like it's done.
Or you keep tasting till it.
I'd advise you not to taste raw vegetable. I'm speaking from experience here.
Alright then.
And then the amala, of course, boil hot water. What am I saying? Boil hot water. You boil water to it. Boil it. Wow, I'm genius. Then you pour in your amala flour and you stir till you have that doughy consistency. Then you pour a bit of water on it and leave it to cook a bit. Then you drop it and stir again till it's acceptable. There's no cocoa, there's no hidden flour waiting for you to eat and get surprised. Then, of course, you do the right thing. You buy a bottle of Coke and sweat it out.
Dope.
Yes, sir.
Well done, sir. You really did your research on this.
I did my research.
Yeah, nice. Way to go about it. I shouldn't give our next to this much of a heads up.
No, too late.
But yeah, the host already also our next guest, sorry, and I think the guest already listened to the previous episode too. So I hope they don't do that much research, anyways. This is not that serious now. It's not that serious. Come on,
I'm like serious.
All right, so here now will be where we go for our first quiz question for the day.
The answer is B.
I'm not giving you options, dude. These are straight up essay questions. 2-page answers. Nothing less.
Okay, I'm listening.
Alright then. So, okay. Let's start with this one. This is a low ball one. A very easy one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm setting it up that way so that when you fail, the shame will be all the greater. Alright. So, here.
Okay.
who was, I don't know, how is that term supposed to be? Who was the first elected president of Nigeria? Elected president of Nigeria.
Elected president. That would be, let me see. Elected president.
Okay.
The first elected president.
Okay, you want a hint?
Yes, I want a hint.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, your namesake had a stint as a military head of state. Who succeeded him as a military head of state?
Who succeeded him as the military head of state?
Yeah, back in the day.
Okay, that was General Olusegun Olabode. Then who followed General Olusegun Olabode? I think he handed over to an interim government.
Yeah, to a civilian government. They organized an election immediately after his rule there.
And then, for the life of me, I can't remember.
They were overthrown about
6 months after.
2 years later, thereabout.
They were not killed.
They were not killed.
You said it was easy. I swear I can't remember. Wait, can I have 3 guesses?
Yes. His name has been going around. His name has been going around recently as a meme.
I think I know him, but I'm not too sure.
Of course.
He's a Northerner.
Yes, he is.
His name is Mr. Malam Shehu Shagari.
Exactly. Congratulations.
I swear to God, I genuinely, I was afraid of saying either him or, I know you're going to laugh, Ernest.
Okay, Ernest wasn't a president. He was an interim head of government.
Yeah, that was messing my head. Interim government.
Yeah.
And I nearly missed that.
Yeah. Okay, that's, I don't know. It's probably a bit of Nigerian history that's not very popularly discussed anyway, because the rule wasn't that short, given how turbulent things were. It lasted for at least 2 years, and but usually overlook it. It was I don't know. It was an experiment then.
Yes.
Why do you say it's an experiment? Because the country had been under military rule for like 15 years. Yes. When the elections took place then, and he emerged as the head of government then, the president then, and the rule was. I remember back in secondary school when we were discussing this. Anyway, me plugging my secondary school, and my secondary school teacher has great teachers. Even though AC wasn't part of our curriculum, we got to discuss this with some of our teachers, especially my principal back in the day, about how it was. We discussed about how the rule was a bit disastrous. Talking about how corrupt the whole thing got, following the amount of work that the governments of Murtala Mohammed and Olusegun Olabode had done prior to their emergence, and then how disastrous it was with the corruption that emerged and everything that. So, but also it gets confused when people talk about the first president of Nigeria, because people confuse the first elected president from the first executive president. That's Nnamdi Azikiwe.
Yes. And also the first transition between a civilian to civilian.
Exactly.
That one too messes with me too.
Yeah. All right. So, let's get back to less serious matters now.
Okay.
Mr. Olusegun.
Yes, sir.
How many states have you been to in Nigeria?
In Nigeria?
Yeah, can you list them?
I believe I can, yes. I've not traveled a lot.
Okay.
But
you've traveled some?
Yes. Kano, of course. Okay. I've been to Kano.
Alright. Okay.
Kaduna.
That's 2.
Jigawa State.
That's 3.
In the north. Where else again? Abuja.
That's 4.
Oh, Sokoto.
That's 5.
Yes. Plateau State.
That's 6.
Where else have I been? So I've been to Lagos State.
That's 7.
Ogun State.
That's 8.
Ibadan.
That's 9. That's Oyo State.
Yes.
Okay.
Oyo. Where else have I been to in this Nigeria? Come on now.
That's all.
Yeah, that's what I've been. I've been to 9 states in Nigeria.
All right, 9. That's exactly 1/4 of all the states in Nigeria. So I think that should be a pass mark.
I mean, as a true Nigerian,
the pass mark should be if you've been to at least 1/4 of all the states in the country.
No, I think a pass mark should be that you have been to each corners of the country.
The
north, south, west, and east. I've never been to the east. Supposed to get there.
Yeah, so we could put it like that. So the pass mark could be if you've been to at least 1/4 of the states, or if you've been to at least one state in all the major regions. So,
yes, that would be something.
So we give you half a pass mark.
Thank you. I'll take that. I'm used to it.
All right. So okay. There's a follow-up question here.
Okay.
I'm trying to pick one of the states. And because I could already guess what you've gone to do in many of the other states. But then let's ask, what did you go to do in Jigawa State?
Oh, Jigawa State, fun stuff. The first time I went to Jigawa was to go see my sisters in FGGC Kazawe.
Nice.
Yes. And the second one was to go to the university in Dutse. Sir?
Did you attend the university there?
No, sir.
Okay.
I went on...
organize a program.
No.
Organize an event.
Sir,
organize a trust.
I went for evangelism.
Nice.
If you understand what I'm...
Being a dear friend of this guest in the studio, I understand exactly what he means. Alright, so that's a good one. Alright, so let's move on now to our next question. Alright, let's do this one. What is your favorite tourist attraction site in Nigeria?
Wow. Favorite. I'm very sure you remembered Gulda Ultimate Search. And there was this particular season where it was Obudu Ranch.
Where the stuff was hosted, right?
Oh God in heaven. I was enamored immediately. I believe that was the paradise in Nigeria. But subsequently I've got to hear about a lot of other places, like some resorts in Akwa Ibom State. But Obudu is still the top one on my mind. I really want to go there. First of all, because they say it's a cattle ranch. I love animals.
Yeah.
And I've seen pictures. And being somebody from Kano used to these desert-like futures. I'm seeing
that. Hey, if you listen to this from outside of Kano, as I know a considerable number of our audience, Kano is not a desert. If you come to Kano, it doesn't look like a desert. In fact, you'll wonder where all the stereotypes are. Yes, you might have to come with your sunscreen, or at least keep one handy in your bag, but it doesn't look anything like a desert. All right.
Oh yes. Obudu Ranch is the top one, but I think the close second will be anywhere in Plateau State. See, that's how ridiculous I love nature. Nice. Anywhere in Plateau State. I went there recently and that place was beautiful. The weather. I heard they grow strawberries and apples there.
Yeah.
I want to see strawberry and apple farms.
I've seen the farms, but in pictures only. I've seen the pictures and the video footage.
I want to go there in person.
Farms, yeah.
I've
seen rose farms there.
Are you kidding
I've seen strawberry farms, yeah.
Now that's a place to visit.
I'm telling you.
So those are my two: Obudu Ranch and any place in Plateau State.
Yeah.
Well, except Nagaguta. I'm kidding.
Alright, so Plateau State ranks highly with me too. And for Obudu Ranch, I think I remember back in the day I saw a footage once of a zip line. This zip line.
Oh yes.
Like, damn man, I would like to be in this place. Zip line
in Nigeria.
I mean, come on man, who's using this place?
So zip line I've seen is Nepal.
Yeah, so that's a good one. And I hope we get to visit there soon.
Definitely, I hope so too.
Yeah. But the follow-up question here was if you've ever been there, well, then you've already answered that. Yeah. Alright, now so we've asked about your favorite Nigerian artist.
Yes.
And being Nigerians now, and we have this legend globally about how we love to party.
Oh yes.
Of lesser known is the legend of how brilliant and how intellectual we are. I mean, it's of some renown, just not as much renown of our partying nature. Yes. So we would like to know, of course, of how interested you yourself are as a Nigerian in that aspect of Nigerian society, Nigerian history, the intellectual aspect. So we're going to be asking, who is your favorite Nigerian writer and what is your favorite book by them?
Okay. My favorite Nigerian,
you can list here too.
Yes, thank you very much.
Maybe your top 3.
Yeah, thank you very much. Because if you know me well, you know I love reading.
Yeah.
And favorite Nigerian.
His first wife is a book.
Oh yes. Catch 22, just Okay. Well, should I only mention novelists or any?
Generally writers.
Okay, generally writers. Okay, my favorite Nigerian book presently is Becoming a Nigerian. By
Nathan
John. Yes. And that young man, God bless you, sir.
That is not so young. He's one of my favorite people on Twitter.
I call him a young man.
That guy is a vibe on Twitter.
He's a vibe. That was presently my favorite. I could have gone with There Was Once a Country. There was a country, sorry. And also this Half of a Yellow Sun by Miss Chimamanda.
Madam. Respect.
Oh yes, sure. I followed you. Again, please don't block me. Okay. Also, Christopher Okigbo is one of my, if not my favorite Nigerian poet. Christopher Okigbo, and I won't go for Wole Soyinka as number 3 because I'm beefing Wole Soyinka presently.
Okay.
Because of the book you gave me to read, Death and the King's Horseman.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm beefing him currently because of that drama. It's doing a number on me. So, I'm beefing you. So my third,
there are number of reasons to beef Wole Soyinka. I don't think that ranks highly.
So I think my third goes on Bass, not because not in order of preference to Chimamanda Adichie. Okay. That woman, she inspired my sister to writing. My elder sister is in love with that woman, and I can see why.
It's very easy to see why.
The woman is a genius.
It's very easy to see why.
She's a genius, and I'm so proud to be from the same Nigeria as she's from. I read her book, Half of a Yellow Sun. I read it. This would be, if I would read it again, to be my 6th time reading the book. I have 2 copies of the same book. I read it in secondary school for the first time, and it changed my life. I am not kidding. It changed my life about what a writer is supposed to write. Some people say it's a spin-off of There Was a Country. And I genuinely don't agree with that.
They pulled that out of their backside.
They
have no idea what they're talking about.
I genuinely don't like that statement because that book was art on its own. And yes,
the problem with people who say that is that they probably have not read either book.
They haven't. So yes, I have Christopher Okigbo, El Nathan John, and Chimamanda.
Yeah, I think those are very good choices. If you naming Christopher Okigbo then you probably naming Mr. Chino Achebe too, because
yes,
I mean they go hand in hand.
I think he was killed in Biafra, right?
During the war, and he was mourned in There Was a Country too by Chino Achebe. Yeah, he was mourned, and Elnathan John, of course, I know why Elnathan John has to be on that.
It has to be
because of course you being a satirist yourself, and this guy ranks right up there among the top satirists in this country.
I can argue in the world. I can argue.
Yeah. I mean, come on, and Madam Chimamanda herself too. Yes. I mean, respect me. And I remember. Okay, oddly enough, I'm a person who loves doing second readings, third readings, readings of my favorite books.
Yeah.
Half of Yellow Sun I've only ever read once.
Why so?
In the real world, in the real life, but I've probably read it tens of times in my head, in my dreams. The book the story keeps going on and on in my head. I keep replaying the whole thing over and over again in my head. It's a phenomenal body of work.
The movie too did well. The movie was, of course, it can't capture the whole.
I had beef with the movie.
Oh,
it wasn't made in Nigeria.
Unfortunately,
that's a great beef.
Unfortunately.
Secondly, they didn't capture the Nigerian spirit as well.
I'm sorry I triggered you.
This is one area of my expertise, and it's surprising that I've gone so long with this podcast without doing movie reviews on it. And I have one planned already. I love watching movies after I've read the books or the source material they're based on. Just to judge the movie and to see how well the makers of the movie stayed to how well they stick to the source material too, of course. And not just that, how well they're able to interpret the writer's ideas from the books, and if they're able to pass along those ideas, the ideologies, and the emotions that come from reading the books. And even though the movie scores well in some of those aspects, it fails miserably in others. I don't know, maybe I should just save my rant for when I finally get around to do a review of that. I don't have one planned, but maybe someday we'll get to do it anyways.
Definitely.
So that's a great answer there, Mr. Olusegun. You've done 3 more questions. Maybe it's time for another quiz question. What do you think?
Why not? I mean, make it easy, sir.
Okay, yes, I'll try to take it easy on you.
You'd have asked me Sabinus. I will have answered that immediately.
There is a who is question here, but I don't think you'll like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. Let's leave it, please.
Alright, so let's go on to another one. Okay, this is an easier one. Anyway.
Don't say it
So
easy.
let me not set you up again, right? Oh, I think it should be easy.
Okay.
I think I'm going to skip that one.
Wow. Okay, this is.
I think I'm going to skip because we've discussed a lot, and I wouldn't want to ask a question that will prompt another lengthy discussion on this particular episode because that's what the answer to that question could probably prompt an entire episode itself. And one of the episodes I've been teasing on this podcast for a while now has been the Civil War, Nigerian Civil War. I'm planning a 3-part series on that. So
I think I know a certain Adib watch it up interesting.
Right? So and this question has a lot to do with that. So I would want to skip that question for now. So let's see. This one will involve you listing anyways. Although if you have the number, you can just spin out tell me what the number is. How many states are there in the what part of the country are you from? Let me not ask that. I don't really care about that. This podcast doesn't care what people are from. Okay. Oh, okay. This would have made more sense if I actually uploaded the last episode or the episode I recorded following episode 10. But for some reason I did not upload it. Okay. I am planning to re-record it. So be on the lookout for that, people. Yes. There's an episode coming, and the initial recording was so powerful that the leftist scientist, did not put it out, and instead is going to re-record it before he puts it out there. So be on the lookout for that. The episode is basically leading up from our episode 7, which was about. And we tried answering the question. That was me and Ada. We tried answering the question about if Nigerian society or Nigerian politics is right-wing in nature. And our answer at the end of it was that yes, it's extremely right-wing. It's very right-wing in nature. Yeah. So that episode is about why we need, or this episode I'm teasing now is about why we need an active left-wing in Nigerian society and in Nigerian politics. Okay. So. Yeah, and it's something. Well, I'm the leftist scientist, for God's sake. So it's something I feel very strongly about. So I felt strongly about it, and I went into it in that episode. And I don't think I'll be putting that out. But I'll be recording it very soon, of course. And then we'll be having it. I don't know. I'm not promising how soon it will be before it comes out. There are a number of things I want to get in place before that happens. But then we'll see. We'll see whenever that happens. It happens. All that whole segue to the teaser there is just to say why I say I don't care where he's from, because if you listen to that, then you know. If you listen to that episode, you know why I say that, why I don't care where he's from in Nigeria. But I won't want to go into all that reasoning now. Okay, so let's skip that. I rest my rant. And forgive me.
Remember when you said you don't want to ask me a question because it's going to a whole episode?
Yeah, I remember.
That was 10 minutes ago.
Alright. Okay, so Mr. Olabode.
Yes, sir.
If you listen to the last episode, our guest, one of the questions we asked them was to list all the geopolitical zones in Nigeria, right?
I don't like this already.
Okay, so how many states do we have in the Southeast geopolitical zone?
Southeast geopolitical zone. Yeah. Southeast. So let me be.
I have the answer here.
I can't. Let me see. Can I list them out to see?
Exactly.
Okay. Let me start with my favorite.
Okay.
Ebonyi State.
Nice.
Abia.
Okay.
That's two. I'm getting there.
Okay.
We have which other Abia.
Which other?
No, calm down. Calm down. I'm trying to use the 36 states. I'm trying to use it to get there.
Okay.
Which other Igbo states do I know? That's Enugu.
That's 3.
Then we have I've mentioned Abia, Ebonyi State, Enugu State. God in heaven. If you are guys, again, it's because you are not sitting in this. I'm getting there.
He's getting there. Getting there quite alright.
What is Inewi?
Do you want me to answer that for you?
No, don't. God in heaven.
You're right. Inewi is one of the states you're missing.
There are 5 states, are there?
There are 5. Okay, so you have the questions. You have the answer. Right?
There are 5 states.
Yeah, there are 5 states. So there is Ebonyi,
Enugu,
Abia,
Abia,
Imo,
Of course.
Anambra.
5 states. I just
right.
know there are 5 states. How will I forget Anambra?
So, for
Of
my
course I
people from the southeast, and if you listen from over there, respect, of course. Don't mind him. It's not because of prejudice or anything. I'm sure he'll perform this day if I ask him to list states from the southwest. And by the way, me myself, I myself, the host that answered the question, I'm not from the southeast either. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Shout out to every Nigerian out there.
Anambra. Apologize.
All right, so okay, that's been our second quiz question. By the way, so there will be 3 total quiz questions. You've answered 2 out of 3, so I think you're good to go. But there will be 1 more at the end of the whole stuff, which is supposed to be the prize-winning question. But I think you've done quite well in this episode. So let's see. Let's see.
I'm used to passing the BRS minimum.
So next question here. We've seen your favorite artist, we've seen your favorite writer. So what do you get when you merge those two together? Performance arts and the writing bit. You get movies or something like that. So yeah, growing up, what was your favorite Nigerian movie?
Ooh, okay. Growing up, my favorite Nigerian movie was Isakaba.
Interesting.
Isakaba was, for me, the pinnacle of the Nigerian gangster. Of course, it was a bit of occultism too there, but for me, it was Isakaba. It burst my brain. Guys in black with red on their head. I think Sam Dede was in that movie.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what actors were in it, but then
Sam Dede was the one I can remember.
He was the leader here.
Yeah, Sam Dede. The guy was for me was the alpha male at that time.
Exactly.
Sam Dede was so cool. There was no man cooler on the planet.
Top action Nigerian action star.
Yeah, I mean, but now again, I'm very sure if I was to watch the movie again, the whole idea I had would just fall. So,
of course.
But then again, I'm still holding up childhood innocence.
Yeah.
And there was also this other movie. I can't
never
remember.
Meet your heroes.
Yeah. 31st Night. 31st Night was not that it was my best movie growing up, but it was one of the most significant.
Okay.
Because there was this scene where the lady was in a bathtub and it got filled with blood. And it ruined my childhood. I became paranoid. I rather shower standing.
Nigerian horror movies.
I'm telling you, I think Ramsey Noah was in that movie.
Nigerian thriller movies.
31st Night. It was,
typical.
If you have not watched it, please,
almost stereotypical.
I think look it up on YouTube. I think it should be on YouTube. 31st Night is something you should watch. It's
nice.
I think when I look at it now, I'm going to laugh. But then it was a solid movie.
Yeah. I mean, many of those movies made our childhood and gave us nightmares, endless nightmares, numerous endless nightmares, of course. So thanks a lot for that. So let's see, how many questions do we have left here? I think that should be, we should have only one last question here to go.
Yes, we should. If I can count correctly.
No, we have 2 more questions.
I can't count.
We have 2 more questions to go. So they are both kind of serious questions. So let's see where we can go with this. So let's ask the first of these. Presented with the opportunity and power to fix the problem with Nigeria, what problem are you picking and why?
Okay. Nigeria. I think it's an easy choice. Can you say mindset is a problem? Can I go with that?
Mindset, individual, societal?
Societal.
Yeah.
Societal mindsets. I think that would be the first thing I would like to change. Because it's eating into a lot of what's holding us. It's one of the reasons of a lot of our problems. If we can change the mindset of an average Nigerian, it's going to go a long way. I mean, obviously, the last election put in limelight the ridiculous mindset we had as a nation. I mean, I myself, I consider myself, in quote, learned. But when I realized, I was swayed by the common Nigerian mentality, which is prevalent all over the world, but I'm concerned with my country, Nigeria. It's a terrible, I don't want to go into details because it's going to probably upset a lot of us.
People, I'm already getting upset here myself.
It's crazy. If we can change that mindset and remove a lot of bias and sentiments we have as Nigerians. It's funny, I can give you just one simple example that will make you laugh and make you sad at the same time. I had a friend of mine who told me that she cannot date a Yoruba man because her mom hates Yoruba people. And
Typical.
And for me, that was a hungry single young man that was
Hungry and
I was trying to pacify. I said, no, you can't hate any tribe.
Hungry and hungry without the G. If you know
was,
what I'm saying.
I think this is a PG-13.
Well, there's nothing explicit there, but then if you know what I'm saying, then you're no 13-year-old. Come on.
Or a 13-year-old. Wink, wink. Okay. So it was, that's just on I would say a light note compared to what has happened to us because of our mindset. So that's the problem I'd love to change in Nigeria, our mindset.
Yeah. I mean, talking about the mindset and the recent elections, I mean, we're briefing Brymo here on this show for some reason.
Oh yes,
for the previous election and his mindset going into that election. I won't want to go into that today, but then, I think thanks a lot, Mr. Olusegun, for that pretty concise answer. Alright, so for the last question here, last interview question anyways.
Okay.
Who in your opinion is the best Nigerian head of state?
Easy.
And why?
Easy. God rest his soul, President Musa Yar'Adua. As an easy for me. I don't even have to think about it.
Because he died on the job?
Well, I'm sorry, no. I'm not going to make jokes about
Tell us a joke.
Okay, let's hear it. There's a joke. Well, I think he's the smartest Nigerian president to know when to leave office. I'm sorry. I know that's a very poor taste. I'm sorry. He left his side to push me straight. But on a serious note, President Muhammadu, go scratch that. See. I apologize on behalf of myself. And 300 million Nigerians. President Musa Yar'Adua for me was the best president this nation I have seen personally. This was he was the president after my namesake, General Obasanjo. Yes, and this was somebody that it looked like genuinely for me when he came into power, it looked like he was not going to do anything. I think it was a 7-point agenda. Right? Yeah. That was his push. 7-point agenda. And then when things started to click, first of all, Niger Delta militants. God in heaven. That was a miracle in my I have never heard the word amnesty up until that time. And it was going so smooth. Then all of a sudden we were without a head of state. Yeah. And it was a very, very sad thing. For months. We as Nigerians didn't even know our president was dying. I didn't know. Nobody informed me. I didn't get a call from the house of Olusegun or that they go.
Have you?
But then again, it was for me the best president. Nigeria was happy.
Yeah. Not just happy. We are hopeful. I remember the feeling then. It was hopeful.
It was hopeful. It was beautiful that something was going to happen. We were ticking off those agendas. Then of course, Nigeria happened to Nigeria.
Whatever it was that happened to him happened.
It happened. It was very. I no doubt for me. There's even a close runner-up for me. He's up there. God rest his soul. The man did what he promised us he was going to do. Then we had a breath of fresh air that became still after a while. Oh, then again.
All right, then. So there you have it. Our great man guest in the studio just gave his piece on Nigerian history there. And I do remember back during this rule, I was in secondary school then, and that was when I first got into writing or at least documenting bits of history back in those days. And I do remember the prevailing feeling of hope, at least in people amongst my peers then, and how we discussed. That was when I first got seriously into Nigerian politics and Nigerian history. And how we used to sit down and discuss Nigerian politics then and things that were going on in the country and the 7-point agenda particularly.
Oh yes.
How we sat and discussed how feasible the plan was and everything and stuff like that. And then what happened afterwards. But then that's our guest piece, our guest opinion. And if you don't agree with him, maybe
shock it.
Brush up. Good. Don't stop a Nigerian history textbook and reach out to us on Twitter or some other medium. And we might have a discussion if we have the time to entertain it. So thanks.
And if we are cool-headed enough to talk about it.
Exactly. So thanks a lot, Mr. Olusegun. I would like us to have one last question. Should we?
Well, I've always said no to extra questions.
So, all right. So, let's give it an easy one then.
Okay.
Let's give it an easy one. What was the Nigerian currency before the naira?
That was the British pound.
All right. So, easy one.
Easy one. Easy.
Yeah. Our next guest better get prepared to tell us in what year that currency change happened.
Ooh.
From the Nigerian naira, or from the British pound to the Nigerian naira. Mr. Olusegun has set you up. Unfortunately, we are recording that episode before this one goes up. So, next guest, I'm asking you this question. So when you get to listen to this last, you know exactly why.
It will be too late.
It will be too late. I know why that happened to you. Segun did it.
Well, that's a lot. That was going around a lot of maternity words.
All right then. All right. So, all right. So, Segun, thanks a lot for coming onto the podcast and serenading us with your knowledge and experience of Nigerian history and Nigerian culture.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
Okay. So, come on. Where are my manners? Can you please sell your market? Tell our audience about yourself and about what you do, and if there's anything you sell, let them know about it.
Okay, apart from my body. I keep. Okay, I am currently a final year student in Brymo University, Kano. I'm a student of dentistry.
Thank you.
So, in a year plus, well, please, hopefully, do look me up for your, I'm not supposed to be selling my market here,
please.
Professionally.
Oh, come on.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Before that next year, I write, well, not under my own name now. Okay. I do more of ghostwriting. So some of the articles you might have seen out there on Facebook, on Instagram, might be from me.
The very best ones.
Well, the very.
If you see any good one,
he
wrote it.
Yeah, just think of it. I thought I was good. I thought I was the shit.
Okay.
Growing up, but now I've removed D.
But now you know you're just.
So I do write for. I write for people. I write on articles under pseudonyms.
Okay.
And I also, if you need an article done, I did for you. I also edit.
And I'm his agent anyways.
Oh, so yes.
Reach out to me. I'll hook you up.
What else do I do? I'm basically jobless on weekends.
So you know when to hit him up if you need anything.
Yes, please. I do home delivery services. Wink,
all right.
If you know what I mean.
There you go. And where can people reach out to you if they want to see what you like or what you do, some of your work and stuff like that?
I'm mostly on Facebook. Okay. Olusegun Olabode Phillips. I put out some articles I write. I review books too once in a while, and I upload very, very not so beautiful pictures if you're interested. Okay. Olusegun Olabode Phillips on Facebook. Thank you.
Yeah, he models himself on Facebook. He like himself to believe that anyways. And on Twitter.
On Twitter at Olabode Olusegun.
Okay.
I'm the first one you'd see. I don't have my blue check yet. I'm still negotiating.
Does anybody have that anymore?
I'm still negotiating with Mox to collect 4 mega.
All right, so there you have it. There's our guest. You can reach out to our guest on Facebook. You can find him on Facebook and on Twitter. See what his writing is like there, of course. So, and for this podcast, you can find this podcast on your favorite listening platforms. So we're talking about AudioMac, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We're also on YouTube, and you can also find us on any podcast aggregating app you have. So we're talking about the Podcast Addict, Podcast Bean, and other podcast apps like that. You can also reach out to us on social media. We have a Facebook page. It's at 0100 Naija. We are on Twitter at 0100_Naija. We also have an Instagram page at 0100 Naija. I am the scientist. You can find me on Twitter at Leftist Scientist. I'm Leftist Scientist at Leftist Science on Twitter. And I think that's mostly it.
What about Facebook?
I don't exist professionally on Facebook.
Quick note: if you want to find him on Facebook, look at my post. You are going to see someone that always comments. That's him.
He's a very famous guy on Facebook, guys. There are a lot of people commenting on the under his post. If you can really find me under his post on Facebook, then you deserve to really find me. So yeah, I think that's good enough to say. So thanks a lot for listening to this podcast. Thanks a lot for following us this far. This is the Leftist Scientist signing out. Catch you on the next one. Thanks.